Hello, I'm Wendy Rinaldi, author of the Social Use of Language programme, or SULP for short, and this film is about the new SULP primary. SULP is an evidence-based programme, and I have included an add-on link at the end of this film to one I made summarising some of the evidence. In this, I have included a little of my own evidence, but the focus is on studies by others, which I think strengthens the evidence because it makes it more objective. So the new SULP primary covers more ground than the original, is more comprehensive, and focuses even more on social understanding and well-being, as well as communication, self-other awareness, and positive strategies for managing social times that are commonly problematic. On the next slides, I show some of the conceptual links and how they can create positive impacts, for example, on social communication, friendship and self-esteem, managing or preventing fallouts, and enabling children to look after themselves at times when they may feel vulnerable. The activities help children to understand the concepts underpinning these areas from an early age and gives positive strategies. Some areas directly link to well-being, but the positive impacts on well-being also come about when children develop a better social understanding all round and can make sense of why people behave the way they do. So these are the new manuals. There are 2 of them. They're quite chunky books, so please email if you would like a free contents list. These contain all of the activities except for the warm-ups, and these are now in a separate book as I've added a lot more of them. There are also now lesson planners to accompany both manuals, and these are printable so that you can print your own session plan record sheets and don't need to buy more when you run out. The children's material consists of stories, all of the ones in the earlier editions, plus many new ones, picture plays, checkouts, movies, and printable material such as posters and pictures for games. All of the children's material is now supplied electronically with a license so that you can use them on school-owned devices and hook up to a large screen or smartboard. This works better for the children in groups and has the additional advantage that you can zoom in on key parts of the pictures where needed. You can still buy the stories as books, but everyone says the electronic format is much better for the children. And in the new SULP primary, some of the new stories are audiovisual. In this format, I read the stories and there is some animation. Here's a short excerpt from a new audiovisual story called Not Falling Out. Meet the Get-Along family. There's Ruthie, Robbie and Mum. They're a very happy family, but today there's a problem. Mum has just bought a new carpet. It's lovely, but it costs a lot of money. Mum worked hard to save up for the carpet, and she wants to look after it. So she has a new rule: no shoes on the carpet. But that's a problem for Ruthie. Ruthie loves her shoes. She doesn't want to take them off. It's a problem for Robbie too. I'm wearing these trainers on the new carpet. Mum says, no, you are not. Oh dear, Mum can see this is going to be a big problem. It makes her sad. Up on Planet Magic, they have a special Mums in Need office. Moby works there on Fridays. Moby's wearing his special Mums in Need headphones so he can listen out for any upset mums. Moby says, goodness me, There's a very upset mum down on planet Earth. Name is Mrs. Getalong. Wonder what that's about. Moby types in Mrs. Getalong on the upset mum's computer. Moby says, here we are, Mrs. Getalong. Children Robbie and Ruthie. Problem with a new carpet. I'll need my OK for you and me finder for this one. Back at the house. And then Moby pays a visit to the family to help them sort out their problem. I've also extended the assessment, and this enables you to track pupils' progress. I've made a separate film about it that you can access on my YouTube channel or by searching online. You can choose your licence, but I encourage schools to opt for the whole school licence if they can, as there is so much in SULP that benefits all children, either at their current stage of development or with an eye on the future, to prevent some of the problems we can see as children get older. It is now a truly inclusive programme, and Senkos or heads who have used or seen the programme in schools they have worked in previously often want to invest in the whole school approach. But for those who haven't come across SULP before, or just starting up, there are single practitioner or small team options. The single practitioner licence is for those working on their own, for example, independent therapists or home tutors, starting up or working alone. Training is now included as part of the package. It's film views, so easy to complete at your place of work or at home, and there is the option of having time with me if needed. People often ask me what SULP is and how it works. I've summarised key points on the following slides. Essentially, SULP is a fun way of helping children to understand and then practice using key concepts and skills so that they can feel happier and have a more positive social experience. Understanding is key for meaningful progress and well-being, and the challenge for me has been to make the new edition work better for younger children so that we can start helping children as soon as possible. Some of the concepts look pretty tricky to get across to young children, and you may be wondering how this can be done, but I have used characters to introduce concepts and link concepts together and make the understanding relevant for their current stage, enabling you to revisit with different characters and activities later on in their development to extend their learning. And the use of characters acts as a softener, a fun way in, even for children who may have had negative social experiences previously and feel sensitive to these initially. Children can often see things more clearly when they see the characters sorting out their problems, and then the programme helps the children to make links between the characters' experiences and their own. The programme uses a metacognitive approach, with understanding at its centre. Metacognition stands for knowing what you know, and I think gives the children the best chance of generalising skills. With support from staff, they can start to see the application for themselves, both at school and home. Activities are multisensory. Visuals are particularly important. Learning is so much more effective if children can see things for themselves, and it has the added bonus of avoiding arguments that can arise with children who have a black and white thinking style or who aren't good at seeing likely outcomes of something they may want to do. They can be absolutely adamant until they see the possibilities for themselves. They can then shift their thinking as needed. Much of SULP is about giving choices for children to try and see what they feel comfortable with. I talk about some of the other principles for effectiveness towards the end of the film about evidence that I've linked to the end of this film. Note that you can skip the ads added by YouTube. I have made a distinction in the manuals and also the children's material between the infant and junior age group. But really, age has little to do with it. It's best to look at all the activities to see what would work best with the children you work with in terms of their developmental level and what would be the most motivating. It's best to see the activities as if they're on a kind of scale that you can slide up and down depending on the needs of your pupils. If I think the children will benefit from the material I develop for younger children, I tell them at the start that I'm going to show them something or play a game that I develop for younger children, but I'd like to know what they think about it, so they feel a bit like critics. In this way, the children don't feel patronised or that they're being babied, but at the same time, they can learn at a level that's appropriate. There are now many activities to choose from: stories, movies, games, and carryover activities. Having so many activities is great because if you need to review ideas, you can do so while keeping things fun and fresh. I've included a couple of examples of the movies and stories on my YouTube channel. Or if you would like to view some of the materials, I offer live chat and online demonstrations for schools and health departments by invitation. I hope that's given you an idea of the new SULP Primary, and please get in touch if you have any questions.